We have waited and waited since I believe it was December the 29th when Clemson played in the Gator Bowl against Kentucky, winning the game for this day. For this day. Opening game, Clemson versus Georgia. It kicks off in about 40 minutes. Welcome to the show. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we get to talk about college football. I'm glad that it's game day for the Clemson Tigers as well as a bunch of other teams. Woo! We made it. We made it. We don't have to sit around and talk about lawsuits and who's suing who and transfer portal right now. It's just game day, and it kicks off, as I said, in 40 minutes. Clemson versus Georgia, 12 o'clock on ABC in Atlanta. I hope you'll subscribe. I'm just a dude who's dressed as a dude, talking like a dude. Okay, I messed up that infamous line from a movie, but if you know, you know. I hope you'll subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it's free. I am so glad that you're here, getting a bunch of people in here. I hope you'll hit the thumbs up, drop a line, let me know you're here. So, Dabo Swinney said, this is what it will feel like in the playoff. That's what he told College Game Day today. He said he loves the intensity of playing Georgia in week one. That's what he said not too long ago. He talked to the Game Day crew. Now, there were some other comments that that were made, and he's excited. He's excited to play this game. I hope that it ends up going in our favor. We did find out that Trevor Etienne will not be playing for the Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, Travis Etienne, arguably the best running back to ever walk through the doors of Clemson. His brother, infamously went to Florida. He stayed at that dumpster fire, one season, and then he transferred out. I think it was one season. Transferred out to Georgia, had some legal issues, and let me tell you this, and good for Kirby Smart for not cherry picking, for not playing the whole, he's going to serve his suspension, just not the first game. That's I know that people like to take their shots at Georgia, and Georgia earns it about their legal troubles. I know this is bizarre. Running 90 and a 45 always gets the cops' attention. It's the craziest thing. But I don't know if that's exactly what he was pulled over for, but that's happened with a lot of other Georgia Bulldog players. But it's say what you will about Kirby. Kirby is making him sit out of a game that he needs him, because they have another running back that played there last year. He's out, I believe, for the season with turf toe. He had surgery. So there you go. Let's talk about this game. I've talked about it at nauseum. I've had my prediction. I've talked about this game for months. And you know how I feel about the game. In fact, I talked this morning to my good friend Parker Henderson, who is in here. Parker, there you go, bud. Yes, I put that. I was on the phone with Parker, and I was buying 2 tri-tips to slow cook throughout the day on my grill. So I got them on the grill. He was on the phone with me this morning. But Parker, I'm glad you're here. Parker supports the show. You see that symbol beside his name? That means he's a member. So thank you for supporting the show on a monthly basis. I appreciate it, my friend. But Parker was saying, hey, listen, we have more of a chance than what you realize. And Parker was saying that if you pay attention to the national media, the closer and closer they get to this game, the more and more they're changing their tune. They're like, it went from Clemson's going to get blasted to, I believe Clemson's going to play a lot better than what we thought. Now, folks, I have told you this over and over. I believe Clemson loses this game today. I believe Clemson loses this game today due to offensive coaching, and they're paying for some of the sins of the past as well. Because remember, just stick with me before everybody gets mad. Just stick with me. Let me explain myself, if you're new to this, new to hear me say this. Just because you fire someone and hire someone else, they may be gone, but their influence is still there. And guys like Matt Luke, he's having to train the reaction and the technique and the approach to the game. He's having to retrain these guys who's been in a system for a while now. I know Thomas Austin was only there for 2 years. And by the way, I'm not taking shots at Thomas Austin. I think the job was too much too soon. I believe Thomas Austin will be fine. I believe that he will probably go out and do well in coaching. It's just too much too soon. I don't blame him for coming back to his alma mater to play for coach for Coach Sweeney. I'm not knocking him. But it takes time. It takes time to right the ship. And I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time accepting that Clemson could win this game because their offensive creativity over the past 3 years, yes, 2 different coordinators, 3 years has been it's been laughable. But my friends, I will gladly accept a win. I gladly am open to Clemson playing well today. I just want to see them, and I'll give you the keys. I'll rehash them. Take care of the football. Take care of the football, and take care of the football. You can have 400 yards, 500 yards of total offense, but if you're not getting the ball into the end zone, you're going to lose. That is like the ABCs of college football. That's the ABCs of football. Next up, here's another thing. You have to be creative. Now, as me and Parker were talking this morning, if Clemson establishes a line of scrimmage and Maffa's running pretty well consistently, don't stop running the football. Keep feeding Maffa and then look for your opportunities to take advantage of Georgia if they sneak up. That is if it's working. But let's say they've keyed off on the run. Maybe they've taken it away. Get creative. Call plays that are exciting. That the guys are like, yes, we ran that in practice. I want to run this now. And don't play not to lose. Don't call plays on the offensive side of the ball not to lose. Because if you play not to lose, you know what happens most of the time? You lose, right? The defense, I expect the defense to come out there and be gangbusters. I believe these guys are just going to absolutely flip and tear it up. Trey Tucker just dropped a comment in here. Says, spread going down to 11.5 is interesting. Good luck today. Thank you, Trey. Got Assassin in here. Let's go, Brian. Today we'll find out we find all about our Tigers. Yes, Douglas Spencer, good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Trey. I mentioned you. I'll just go ahead and throw that comment up there. It's good to see you. Dean Wilson, so excited. Finally, game day. Good morning, Brian. All in. Go Tigers. Wait till we see the game before you criticize all the coaches. I'm not criticizing all the coaches. I love my defensive coaches. I love Matt Luke. Everybody else, I'm still trying to figure them out. But let's go. I'm with you, Dean. I'm very excited about today. Even though that I've made my bold prediction, I will gladly be wrong. There's sometimes in life you don't want to be wrong. You want for ego's sake to be right. Today, I will take being wrong. Parker Henderson, 35-28. 35-28. That is his score. That's what he's believing. He's feeling it. So, do we see Tavoy Fagan today? Do we see Corian Gibson, the 2 DBs? Now, we know that Jaden Lucas and Shelton Lewis they've been banged up. I haven't checked in on their status at this point. Maybe you do. Drop it in the comments section. But I'll tell you, I look forward to seeing Tavoy Fagan play in this game. And you're like, well, he's a true freshman. Wouldn't they pick on him? Yes, and I believe he's up for it. I also believe with R.J. Mickens over the top, being a 5th-year senior, I believe that he can handle it as well. Yo, I have that grill smoke on me from those 2 tri-tips, and it just smells absolutely delicious. I could just roll the shirt up and just, smells great. Little BO, but it smells great. I'm glad everybody's in here. Hope you'll subscribe. Hope you hit the thumbs up. Hey, say hello. I want to hear you say hello, even if you disagree with me. If you think I'm crazy, you think I'm nuts, that's fine. It won't be the first time. I've been on YouTube a while between now and Bobby Durkins. So we will, Bobby Durkins. In fact, let me go ahead and talk about this. For some of you who you don't know Bobby Durkins is back. Bobby Durkins is doing a special little series on YouTube called Bobby Sings. And this week, Bobby Durkins uploaded a little clip it. That's a mix between clip and snippet of him singing not Kokomo, that's his next song, Copacabana. He lost a bet and had to sing Copacabana. So you might want to go over to the Bobby Durkins channel and see that. So go check it out if you hadn't seen Bobby Durkins. Just please buckle up. Sammy Brown, baptize him early. Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. Do you realize Sammy Brown is not being talked about as much on the defense as, say, Wesco and TJ Moore is being talked about on the offense? Do you know why? Because Sammy Brown doesn't have to do great today. Because the guys around him and the coaching are unbelievable. All right? They're doing really well around him. They have given us no reason for a true freshman to need to come in and play out of this world. On the offense, we need major help. And it would help if our wide receivers got to going. Like it became a headache. Get back to that wide receiver U mindset status. That's why that's why you're not hearing about Sammy Brown that much. Is because he is that he doesn't have to be amazing. He doesn't have to go crazy. Jordan Jackson got intel, take it for what you will. My brother told me, a source, he has told me that Hunter Renfrow was at a practice and told him the offense was shredding our first team defense. Jordan, you know what? I'm with you there. You have to take it, as a grain of salt. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. And you know what? I want to pause right there on your comment. Clemson has the offensive talent. There's a lot of people who doesn't believe that. A lot of people, they're the same people who says Clemson's got to go get 4 and 5 star linemen. They already have 4 and 5 star linemen. That's been the problem. They got to get these top recruits. They still have some solid recruits on the offense. I mean, all you have to do is look at the years that Boise State terrorized people with 2-star football players. It's called development. And yes, the portal and NIL and all this bunch of stuff, yes, it creates this whole thing everybody's wanting to talk about. That's fine. There's some validity to it. Part of it is just low-hanging fruit that people are bored and that's what they want to talk about. But development is a big deal. And I believe these young men are willing to be led. And I'm hoping that and I'm talking about the offensive side of the ball. I'm hoping that at the unit level, the individual coaching position level, we're talking running backs, wide receivers, linemen. I'm not worried about the offensive linemen as far as leadership. We got Matt Luke. The overall scheme, these young men want to be led. If you find a competitor who signs on to play for your football team, you want to be led. And I hope today we see that. Because I believe that if we see that more and more and more, Jordan, that could actually come to fruition. Once again, I'm with you. Take it as a grain of salt. Here soon we'll find out what this team is made of. Still Gamble, big supporter of the show. Thank you so much. Yes, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. In 25 minutes, the game is going to kick off. And we're going to find out a lot about both teams. There will be no more speculating. There will be no more off-season in 25 minutes. The off-season, the preseason of 2024, if you want to call it that way, call it that, will be over. There will be no speculating. There will be no more needless articles written, which are basically just talking depth chart, talking how tall guys are. This guy over here, he's 6'3", 260 pounds. He dropped 10 pounds. Look, I get it. I scramble for content sometimes a lot of times during the off season. I'll tell you that. And I get that. A lot of the guys right now, the big noon kickoff on Fox and College Game Day, they're going on right now. You know that. You probably have it playing in the background as you're listening to me. You might be checking in and out. I'm checking in and out of both shows. Um, but today, I mean, in 25 minutes, there's no more preseason. It's over. There's no more writing about the guy's 6'3" and dropped 10 pounds over the summer. There's no more speculation. There's no more, oh, this guy was catching the ball really, really well, and we're looking forward to him in the season. In 25 minutes or less, the season begins. And whatever good happened in practice and whatever progress was made in practice, show it to us. Show it to us. And I hope they do. I hope they do for the individual players. I hope they do it for the units. I hope they do it for the entire team. So, Ireland and Bear, I want Dabo from Rocky 1 and 2 back. We've had Dabo from Rocky 3 for the past 4 years. That is absolutely hilarious. Hilarious, Ireland and Bear. Are you really in Ireland? And do you have a bear? Sorry, you teed that up. That's a great question. He said second team offense was put in not to hurt the defensive confidence. This has to be Ruby Ridge. You've changed your name. Coltrane leaving the station. Turner. You're hilarious. I know why you do that. I know what you're talking about too. This has to be Ruby Ridge. So Dabo Swinney always overcompensates with Cole Turner. And I'm not making fun of Cole Turner. I'm actually poking at Dabo about how, I mean, you could have Randy Moss on Clemson's football team right now. And then on the other side of the ball have Jerry Rice. I'm talking about back in the day. And Dabo would talk about what a good job they did. And then he would praise Cole Turner at the same time. And we know it's because it's his friend's son. And this is the second Turner to play for Clemson. It's Nolan Turner's brother. And I mean, that's hilarious. You did it. Ken Fender, Georgia fan. Wouldn't it be great if Clemson ends up in the SEC so we can have this game more often? You know what, Ken? I agree with you. Clemson and Georgia should be playing all the time. Like, all the time. This has been an annoyance for many, many years. Stubbed my pinky toe, 89. Happy game day, my guy. What's up? It's good to see you, my friend. Happy game day to you, Bruce C. Let's go, Tigers. May there. Good to see you, Bruce. For everybody who hasn't heard, Bobby Durkins is back over on his channel. He's doing a special series called Bobby Sings. And he's saying Copacabana, it's really stupid. You should see it. Also, you can follow Bobby on Instagram. Just type in Bobby Durkins. You'll find him on Instagram. Parker makes a great suggestion. I'd rather Renfro be wide receiver coach than Grisham. Yeah. Scott Reams, right guard, is a concern with T. Howard out in relief. I imagine Sadler will play backup for Parks. That's the thing, Mr. Reams, is that we need to stay healthy across the board. But the offense has been decimated with injuries, and so I'm hoping that we can pull that together. Stone Cold Cowboy. Bobby, expect the worst, but hope for the best. That's what I'm doing. My blood will always run orange and purple. I'm with you, sir. I said this earlier this week. I was on TJ Pittinger show. TJ has college football addiction, and he has Double Fries No Slaw. It's a Florida State channel. He has a lot of subscribers, and I mean, dude, when his shows looks like he's on flipping ESPN, and he had me on. And I just wanted to see the production of it. He's so good at it, at what he does. But I was telling him, I was like, look, I grew up in the shadow of Death Valley, like right outside of there. So it's not just like, oh, you meet some people, and I'm not taking away from you. It's like, oh, I went to school there, and that's your connection to the school. But that's good. I'm not taking away from that. I'm not. I actually grew up in that area. I still have a lot of family in that area. In fact, I went over and seen my sister and her family in the area. Seen my nephew play football and my niece cheerlead the other day. By the way, hello Brian Stone. Brian Stone, if you're watching, I hope you'll drop a comment in the comments section. Saw met one of my viewers. I heard somebody calling my name, and I was like, I don't owe them money, do I? No. And turned around and it was like, hey man, I'll watch you, and just great conversation. It was a great time, but you know, Clemson and that Clemson Seneca area, that's where I'm from. And so I'm going to pull for them either way. But I'm with you. Wonder how far Georgia will go in Kirby Smart's last season in the NCAA. You think this is his last season? Is that what you're predicting? JT Brown, $5. Thanks for supporting the channel. Look, he gave a super thanks, and he's a member. JT is a member. Recruiting is not nor has ever been Clemson's problem. Unimaginative play calling and position coaching, especially on the offense. However, amen. Amen. Folks, when you hear me criticize Clemson, just pause. Pause. Before you type, before you respond, before you get mad. Who do I criticize? Which side of the ball? And do I criticize the players? We know the answer there. And for those of you who are new, I criticize coaching on the offensive side of the ball. The players, they do have responsibility. But it's just like in a business. You can only go as far as your leadership, the people who has the power to replace you, also known as fire you, let you go, as far as they can guide you. And the players, yes, they do have skin in the game. But the offensive coaching over the past few years, and as I said, just because you fire someone, just because they're gone, their influence is still there. So I've been very critical of the offensive side of the football because it's earned it. It's not like I'm being a jerk or a yoger. They've earned it. And if you don't think so, look back over the past 3 seasons. Yes, today is a new season. Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me 2, 3, and 4 times. I'm a walking idiot. I'm not going to, you're going to have to show me. So, you're 100% right. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. I really appreciate that. Matthew, drop some likes for not Bobby Durkins. Yeah, Matthew, go over there and see old Bobby. Bobby's back, singing his little heart out. I'm on Wyoming right now, so can't get the usual channel, so I have to pirate it on YouTube. Hey, I would stream it. I would actually just stream the game. But what's so funny about YouTube, they would penalize my channel, but let's say I was in some other country and I was doing it, they'd do absolutely nothing to me. It's ridiculous. Doghouse podcast. Listen, everybody. Trey, I was on Trey's show this week. Trey is fantastic. Y'all go over to Doghouse Podcast and y'all subscribe. Trey is really good people. He reached out to me about a month ago and was like, hey, well, the week of the show, will you come on? And come on the show and talk to me. I was like, sure. Absolutely. Had a great time over there. He's doing really, really good things. And Trey, you're a gentleman and a scholar. Only wrong thing with you is that you're a bulldog. But I'm glad you're here. Y'all go check him out. Tell him hello. Tom DeMay, 20 minutes until destruction of Clemson begins. Tom, come on, man. Killsboro Kane, 22 minutes, baby, which that was about 5 minutes ago. So we're now 17 minutes in. Guys, if that was too much math for you, don't worry. Horstradamus, that's hilarious. JT Brown, no house will ever rise above its master. Yeah. Tell you, for any of y'all who are just hanging out here, we have Clemson kicking off in 15 and a half minutes or so. I'm going to be watching the game, probably do halftime show. I thought about streaming it, but I'm going to be honest with y'all. I love sitting with my family and watching the game, and I just don't think I could focus if I had like a stream going, and I don't really think it would be that entertaining. Maybe I'm wrong. I do have the tri-tips, though. They're slow cooking. One of them is a special Chicago steak seasoning, kosher salt, pepper, cooking it slow. On the other side, we're going with fresh cracked pepper, kosher salt, and then I put on a nice layer of rosemary on it. So I'm hoping that works out really well. We'll see here in a little while. Just slow cooking those things, no rush. I've got my Zevia here. I'm going to be drinking that, having a few snacks throughout. But this is a great time, folks. I was going to say something just a second ago, JT, and I'm going to get to that because I really like your comment. Um, but you know, the thing about football, is that whether your team wins or loses, you can still enjoy going to the games. You can still enjoy hanging out with your family. Now, do I want my team to lose today? For the umpteenth thousandth time, no. But getting to spend time with my sons and watch the game, my wife's really not into it. She's just like, y'all do your thing, and I'm just hanging out. But just get to hang out with them. That's what it's really all about. It's about the pageantry. It's about the fun. And folks, I wanted to say this the other day. I hope Clemson wins. Again, I hope Clemson wins. But if this season proves to be that Clemson is continuing to decline, and I hope not, or maybe not really improving, I'm still going to go to the games, and I'm still going to hang out with my family. Why? Because it is a pastime. I like to get on here and be passionate. I like to stir the pot, folks. I know that's shocking. Guys who knows me like Parker Henderson, his brother Chase, Tiger Nation, these guys who's met me and know me and calls me on my phone, you know I like to stir the pot some. I do. I have a field day with it. Sometimes I might say something just to get a reaction. But most of the time, you'll see a comment thread where you're like, yeah, that's something he's really predicting. And a lot of people do that. But at the end of the day, this is a pastime, and we should just have a really good time with it. It's always great when you win, though. JT, I want to go back to your comment right here. No house will rise above its master. I'll never forget working in a role with a company, and the sales leader left, just abruptly left. And they did a couple of things that was questionable. And so the owner of the company looks at the managers who was under this guy. So remember, this guy was like the sales leader. He could fire everybody, that was under him. And the owner of the company looked at these two guys that were basically just team leads and asked them, said, well, why did y'all do all of this? And they had to come back to him in a nice way and say, because he was the VP of sales and he could have fired every one of us. What do it's trying not to be a jerk to the guy who could ultimately fire everybody, which is the owner. But folks, what I try to get across to you is the players' own responsibility. They do. There's lazy football players out there. There's guys who comes out of high school, they come into a program, and they've been it since they were in middle school. Everybody knew they were a great athlete. They got special treatment from school, from the schools, from their school teachers. They dated the hottest girl in school. They got special privileges that were good and bad. And then they get into the big leagues, and the guy sitting beside them was more highly recruited than they were. Same right here. And the guy over here, he's a walk-on, but he's out playing him. I'm sure, I'm not only sure, I know this stuff happens. But folks, coaching, I always go back to coaching because coaching is just like that example I gave just a moment ago when it comes to business. You cannot outperform or go behind the back of your leader in business, or else you'll lose your job. And in this case, you may be kicked off the team. Maybe not. You just ride the pine. You just sit on the bench. So I'm just saying you have to. I always start with leadership. I'm always very careful, especially at this level of football, because even though there's a lot of money that is being mixed in, a lot of money's being mixed into college sports now, and players being paid in different forms, we still have development responsibilities for coaches. You still have scheming responsibility for coaches. And so that's the reason why you see me be more aggressive with coaching, because especially in college sports, high school sports, and so on, uh, coaching really, really matters. You get to the NFL, it does matter, but a lot of those players, it's way more of a business than what it even is now in the college game. So there, the approach is different. It's the same, but a lot of it is different. So that's the reason why you don't see me come out and just hammer a player. A lot of people wanted me to take a lot of shots at DJ after he lost last week. I think DJ needs to change positions. I think that it's proven that he is just not right for the uh, um, position of quarterback. I think he is a good athlete, and I think he could be a tight end or maybe some other position. And we've seen guys change positions and go in and play in the NFL. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys who were quarterbacks that were athletes that changed positions and spent a lot of time in the NFL, made more money than a lot of us do on a common job, even if you have a good job. But I'm not going to go in there and just beat up on DJ. DJ also played at Clemson when it was a really weird time too. So it's easy to point all the blame at him, but even after he left, there was a lot of questions. So I just leave. I just leave that there. I leave that there. I careful how difficult or how aggressive I am with the players, especially at the college level. Quickly go through these, and then I'm going to go downstairs, get ready. 17 minutes maybe. They always take so long before the actual kickoff. Not sure why. You're right, Matt. They do that. Technically it's supposed, which I know you made this comment about 10 minutes ago. We're about 7.5 minutes until kickoff technically, but you're 100% right. Can't wait to see Clemson play the penal colony. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Jeff Laughlin, don't go too heavy on the rosemary. I did it on one side. One side. I didn't do it on the other. But you are right. Rosemary is great in theory, but it's like too much of something good is bad. And it's in fact worse, isn't it? Right? Like, oh man, this is really good. And you start eating gobs of it, and you're like, I think I'm sick. Great advice. Thank you, though. Thank you, Jeff. Glad you're here, Jeff. I hadn't seen you in a while. Math. I want to watch a good game with the old man and watch an old SEC homers reactions throughout the game. Let's go Tigers, 28-24. Let's get it. I hope you're right, Matt. I hope you are right. Okay, Clemson, we're backing you 100%. We have Georgia week 4, so get them for me today. Roll Tide. Good luck. User, preach it, BK. You know, I'm trying to figure out who you are, user. I'm pretty sure you're Ruby Ridge, but I'm trying to figure out who you really are. I have some theories. I think we know one another. There's been a few things you've said that I went, I think we know each other. I like it. I like the mystery. As long as you're not a serial killer and you're going to debowel me at a South Carolina rest stop. Or anywhere. I don't want to be, disemboweled anywhere. Or whatever. Deboweled, disemboweled. Anyway, any scenario where I end up with my guts out of my stomach. That would, it's got weird. Mr. Brown, it's good to see you. Not worried about our defense. The offense shocks and shows up. I think we can pull off the upset. I agree with you, 100%. Fireball, hey Bobby, y'all about to get drugged, son. First quarter might be close. Hey, I hope so. Fireball, have you ever been up there to yell? I sound like my tongue swelled, or I had a stroke. Ye Old Steakhouse up in Knoxville. What is it, Chapman Highway or whatever it is? It's been a while since I've been up there. It was really, really good. Really, really good. Todd Rutledge went there many, many years ago, and that's how I found out about it, and it is unbelievable. Let me know. Everyone hit the thumbs up for my man, your Tigers. Good to see you. Talking about DJ should bulk up some more. Yeah. John answers, I'm worried. Gulp. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna sit there and just let it happen to me. I mean, if good or bad, I mean, there's nothing any of us can do. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. This is some of my parting thoughts here. Parting thoughts. Let me see. Jay Melvin's in. Hey Bobby, I have to ask you a question. As a Saints fan, do you think Spencer Rattler is a good QB? I'll answer this real quick. Believe it or not, I think he is. I gained a lot of respect for him last year. He was sacked 9 times in their very first game, and that was against North Carolina. He was beaten, battered, and you know what? He could have thrown his team under the bus all the time, and that, to my knowledge, he never did. He kept getting up, he kept competing, and so Gamecock or not, Spencer Rattler, I think is a solid player. I think he's a solid player. I wouldn't be shocked if he may never be a star, but I think he'd be a heck of a backup and probably stay in the league a long time as a backup. That's a good gig. You make a lot of money doing that. I'd love to be a backup on the NFL or in the NFL on the NFL. What does that mean? Volfan said, Fireball said no, but I've heard about it though. Go Dogs. Respect to all Clemson fans. Y'all have a great program no matter what. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Folks, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to sit down in my sitting chair. I'm going to check on those 2 tri-tips that are cooking. Probably get me another Zevia. You can actually hear me swallow the drink through the mic. I go back and listen to my shows, just see what I can do better. I try to do things better. But I even annoy myself when I can hear it. It's like, what do you make that sound? It's weird. But at halftime, unless something happens, I will be here. I will be back here. I hope you'll check it out. If you're new here, I hope you subscribe. I hope you'll, because it's free, it does help out the channel. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa. Getting married today. I'm going to miss the games. Enjoy. Well, congratulations on getting married. Congratulations. It's good to see you. Burp more. Sup, let's go Dogs. Talking about game. Yeah, I feel bad for Lee Corso. I feel really, really bad for him. I really do. Go Tigers, my old buddy. Good to see you. We'll be talking. We'll be texting. Achilles, go Tigers from Myrtle Beach. Achilles, I wished I was at Myrtle Beach right now. I'd love to watch this game. I have been at Myrtle Beach and watched Clemson games. It's been great. But congrats to Army. 3275 on getting married today. Folks, I'll see you a little bit later. It kicks off in less than 5 minutes. Y'all take care of yourself. As always, good or bad, please, Lord, don't let it be bad. Go Tigers.